welcome to the table. Welcome to the Grown Folks Table. It has been a while since we've been together. And so guess what? It is girlfriend check-in time. We have the opportunity to see what we've been up to and what's new in the life of the Grown Folks Table podcast. So I'm so excited to be here with my Grown Folks Table co-host. Hey, ladies.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl.
Hello.
Well, we're going to talk about so much. Mother's Day, things that we've learned from moms, things that we wish we can change, important information in regards to motherhood and girlhood and all kind of things today. So let's just kick it off. What have you been up to, Vicky?
You tell me what I haven't been up to. Girl, it's been a time for us. We've been busy trying to reestablish our lives in the midst of this new normal. And so my husband and I are trying to find what that looks like for us in the way of travel. You know, we love to travel. And so we've taken some baby steps. I would almost say putting, baby toe in the water. So staying close to home, maybe, just Savannah or the mountains, Georgia mountains. And so we've been doing that, trying to get reacquainted. That sequestering or isolation in the house together kind of tested us a little bit. But we ventured out into the new world. And so I'm enjoying rediscovering what life looks like on the outside. And so I'm excited about the summer.
Life looked like on the outside, Vicky?
Yes, outside the four walls.
We outside.
We outside. Okay. All right. Well, Libby, what have you been up to?
Oh, honey, you should have just came to me last because, child, you already know. Yes, honey. Well, what haven't I been up to? I've been doing a lot of traveling, so that has been great for me. I went to Hawaii, and that was beautiful. And then I went to Costa Rica and just did some, domestic traveling here and there. Went to Chicago to visit a friend. And, just trying to mingle and because I'm single and, getting my life, honey. And that's what I've been doing. I hope to keep doing that, okay?
She would throw that single in.
Yes, come on.
We're trying to get her booed up.
Yes.
Look, it took everything
Booed
I
up,
had
but not
to.
married. Let's be clear.
Booed up, married. That's what we're trying to get.
That's right.
Whatever.
I go
That's right.
booed up and married. Right.
But it took everything I had not to respond to some of her posts.
Yes.
I mean, I was just about to hate.
Right.
Yeah,
She
come
was
on back
everywhere
home.
looking happy, hot, and sexy. I'm
Yes.
like, look at Libby again.
Well, honey, we can do a couple trip. I ain't gonna have nobody go with me, but I can do a couple trip with y'all.
I know. We probably should do a girl.
Oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
sweetie.
What?
No singles go on the couples trip.
Oh yes, they do, honey, because there's some
Get
single
that
folks
right.
there.
But what I was getting ready to say, I think we probably should do a grown folks table trip, like
There
a
you go.
destination
Come
trip
on.
or something,
I love that. I love
and
it.
invite our friends. What about that?
Yeah.
That would be so fun. if
I'm
we
the
did
friend.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, but one of the prerequisites when Libby gets ready to travel, I said you have to drop me some photos because I lived through her when she
Yes.
goes to Hawaii.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm at the house with a cash kid.
Yeah.
Scrolling through Libby's posts, talking about, oh, that's what it's like to put your feet in the water. Yes.
Well, y'all been doing some stuff too, so let's see what's going on here.
What you got, Dolores?
Oh, girl, don't ask me. I would tell you, I am just so glad to just get back to some normalcy.
Right.
I would tell you because, I love events. I love to go to parties.
Oh, yeah.
So I have been going to parties. I just went
All
to a big
right.
black tie gala. I didn't know if I could fit in a dress.
Come
but
on.
It worked out.
Come on.
But, just glad to just get back out there and have some fun. So I've been doing that. I was elected again to an office position. So now I'm a vice president of membership. That has been really just taking a lot of my time. So now I know why it was so difficult when I was president to keep somebody because it's really a high six-figure job and I was not able to pay them well.
Right.
But I've been doing that. I've been working with my daughter on a business venture that we're trying to come up with. Hopefully we can kick it off this year. Just so many things, and also just planning an event. So we have our big Hats and Heels event coming up next week with the fabulous Dr. Libya Bakar as our MC.
Oh, wow.
So, just
Come
been
on,
up to a
fabulous.
lot of things, a lot going on. But I'm just glad to take the mask off in some places.
Yes.
We have to keep it on in
Absolutely.
most places.
Yeah.
But just happy to
be able to just get out there and have life now.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Did we receive an invitation to the Hats and
I
Heels?
think you did. I think I sent
I don't
everybody a
think
flyer.
so.
I posted it. Y'all, you looking at my
post
post?
is not an invitation.
That is true.
That is not an invitation. That is for everybody else. An invitation is, hey, Elisha,
Yep.
just in case
Tell
you
her
didn't know,
gotcha. But-
I would like for you
So
to come.
sensitive, honey.
I'm just saying. I look forward to the hats, because that means Dolores and I always take
That
pictures
is
with our
true.
hats on.
That is
I can do
true.
And
that.
Libby.
Fascinating.
And so I just don't know. This is the first time that I haven't received the invitation.
But this is the thing for me, because
Okay.
we have so many events
Yes.
and ticket prices are different prices. So
Yes.
I try to pick and choose where I say, well, I won't burn them out on this event. I ask
Okay.
them at the other event.
Okay.
So this event, I was trying to really save you all for our big pink and black ball.
Okay.
So
Okay.
of course, we want to all be there to support Livy, but I think Livy's just going to hold that thing down on her own. I've already
Yes.
told them we're going to have a great time, a fun time. So we
Honey,
don't
do
to
they
worry
have a
about-
button to censor me?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, no censor
Right.
that day. We would not
Yes.
censor you, and we're just gonna have a good time. But I got you all for that pink and black ball.
All
Joyce
right.
can tell you all about pink and black.
Yeah,
Joyce
yeah,
has been
I've
our
had the
MC,
pleasure.
so-
I've
Yeah.
had the pleasure.
All right, Joyce, balls in your hand. What have you been up to?
Well, you know what? I'm so glad that you all spoke first, because everything that you've been doing were very happy times. Unfortunately, in my life here lately has not been that.
Oh, yeah.
I lost one of my closest and dearest friends, and I had been with him through his cancer battle for months, and then I lost him, and it's still very empty to me. And so when we met the other day, just to hear the laughter and being around the sisters again, it just made me feel better, and so that's pretty much, unfortunately, what I've been dealing with lately. It's a lot of death, it's a lot of sadness, but through it all. Through it all.
Yes.
And so I'm looking forward to jumping on that travel bandwagon,
Come on.
so I can go and put the toenail that's painted in the water and start doing some more things. The city is opening. Of course,
Yes.
I'm in the broadcast radio industry. And so now we're being invited to a lot of things, concerts to host,
Yes.
parties to attend.
I've been seeing your posts.
Right,
Yes,
I was
ma'am.
ready
I've
to
been,
come
I've been
on,
doing a lot
concert.
of those things
Yes.
and got a show, a lot of shows coming up. So I'm looking forward to that to sort of kind of take my mind off the sad time. But otherwise, everything has been good.
Well, if I had to rewind to one of your posts that may have stuck out to me the most, it would be the one with you and Maxwell.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Come on, baby daddy.
Come on, you didn't talk about
yes,
Maxwell.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You have to drop all the juice on Maxwell.
Yes, ma'am.
Baby daddy,
Are you
correction.
ready?
What do you
And we was
smell
waiting
like?
on that invitation, Joyce.
No, here's the thing that I love the most is because I love Maxwell. And so when I got a chance to be up close and real personal with him, you know what I told him to do?
What?
Sing in my ear, baby.
Come on with it.
When
Yes.
the cops
Love it.
come knocking.
Come on, lullaby.
And he did.
Come on, lullaby.
Listen, that's the beauty of my career. I do
Yeah.
get a chance to
Yeah.
Honey,
get
you
very
should
up
record
close
us
and
some.
personal with these artists, and because I've been around for a very long time, they knew me when they started.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so to
Yeah.
still be around, they still know and respect me years later. So I love still being in that industry and still meeting these old artists
Yeah.
and these new ones that are around now.
That's great.
That's some good
So go on and be
music, Joy.
jealous.
Yes.
I am
music,
jealous.
Joyce.
Because Usher is flying me to Vegas.
Oh,
okay.
honey.
You know what?
Let me ask you something.
I'm done.
Wait a minute.
I'm done.
I had to make a point. They just say in church, point of privilege. I'm gonna need, and I'm gonna say it just like I feel it. I'm gonna need for you to record me something that the man is saying. I don't care if he's saying, "Hey."
What about FaceTime us? We need to get her
Look,
that'll work.
an
That'll
iPhone.
work.
You know,
Okay.
That'll work. I'll get us
you
a
can
ticket.
Well,
Well, you
can
know I
FaceTime
fly
us so
there,
you can
George.
say
You let
hello
me
to us
know.
personally.
Yeah,
right?
well, he has a show.
Yeah.
His residency
Yeah.
is reopening in July.
Yeah.
And he asked me to voice a segment called The Quiet Storm.
Oh,
Well, who better to do the quiet storm, then the quiet
Yeah,
storm.
that's
right?
right.
Miss
Miss-
Joyce
And so
Littell.
I voiced this segment for him,
That's wonderful.
and he told me, he said, "Hey, when you're ready to come out, I got you."
Yeah.
So we're gonna go out and so I can hear it live in Vegas for his show.
That's beautiful.
When are you going, Joyce?
I have no idea.
Okay, let me know. Let me know.
But they
I'll
say
be
he
in
does a
Vegas
great
in
show,
August,
though,
so I
y'all.
hope it's around that time.
We're going to do a summer trip to Vegas. You
Yes.
let us know.
I
okay?
will. Well, maybe we can.
That
I
would
can
be
plan
good.
that time so we can all be around during. That
Oh, I
time.
would love to.
Oh, I
and they
would.
said it's a great show.
It's
People
a- it's
have
a great
raved
show.
about it.
Great
Yeah.
I want to hear him say, "It's 7:00 on the dot. I am a
Drop top. Come on.
All right, now.
Okay.
You got a
Okay,
real
that's
pretty
cool
little
right there.
thing that's waiting for me.
Right. Yes. Yes. Come on with that, girl. Listen, honey.
Right.
All right.
Well, I've been busy being a mom at the house and working and juggling multiple hats as usual.
Yeah.
Planning the Atlanta Networking in Red event of the year.
ma'am.
Red Dress Brush is coming. And
Yes.
it's coming to Alpharetta, Georgia in June.
Yes.
So that's what I've been doing. All things Red Dress Brunch, all things networking,
Yeah.
all things professional development for Black women, getting them into the C-suite.
Come on.
And that's just what I've been kind of putting my energy towards. I think it's been timely. And so as we talk about motherhood, right, and things that we've learned, one of the things that I learned significantly was to make sure I take full advantage of my time. Procrastination is the thief of time is what my mother always said. And so one of the things I learned to value is time.
Yeah.
And what COVID has taught us is to value time with loved ones and time with friends.
Yeah.
So what about you all? I'm sure your mother's dropped some wisdom nuggets in your life that you're kind of going to walk with and pass down to, the next generation. Let's just start with you, Dolores. You have a daughter, and I'm sure you're always dropping nuggets to your daughter.
Oh yes, and as we reflected, and I think about my mom, who just was an incredible, I think, strong woman.
Yeah.
And she really, all her wisdom is what shaped all of her children. But my mother would always say, I don't care where you're showing up to, but always look your best.
Yeah.
And that was something I just always remembered. I remembered she had 8 children. But I don't care where we went, we were always, we had the little crinoliners on, the dress sticking out wide starch, but we were always just perfect.
Yeah.
And so I grew up that way. In high school, I wore pumps every day. My 30 years in
believe
corporate
it, too.
America, I wore pumps
You
every
better
day.
do it, honey.
Dressed to
Right.
the nine. My
Yes.
heels and my pocketbook matched every day.
You better
I
do
tell
it.
you, I was just
And
something.
got that husband, honey, while she was doing all that, girl.
I
Yes.
surely did.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
But it was just that was one of the things in treating people
Yeah.
the way you want to be
Yeah.
treated.
Sure.
Yes.
And so
Sure.
that's a big thing with me. It's a big thing that I taught my daughter.
Yeah.
I teach my grandchildren. It's all about how you treat people.
Absolutely.
And one other big thing was choose your battles, because I was one always in somebody else's mess.
Yeah.
And she said, you're always trying to help and defend other people and always
Yeah.
in somebody else's fight. But, pick and choose.
Pick and choose.
Wow.
Pick and choose your battles. So
That's
those
good.
are some
That
of the
is
things
good.
that I can
Yeah.
remember. There are so many because, every day,
Yeah.
we get to switch almost every day because it's always something.
Something.
But I don't regret anything. I think she did an awesome job with all of us. And
Yeah.
so it's a
You know
great
what?
time to reflect on our mothers.
I was
is.
thinking too when Dolores described that lesson from her mother.
Yeah.
You see that in how she.
Oh, absolutely.
Present
Yes, you
herself.
do. Yes,
so
you do.
it was a lasting lesson.
It was.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that because every time you see Dolores, she's
Yes.
dressed to the nines,
Yes,
honey.
matching
Thank you.
from head to toe.
Yes.
She was
And
all right.
Every
Come on, shoes.
eyelash is intact.
I've never caught her slipping.
I know.
I've caught her in the grocery
I know.
store. She still wasn't slipping. Even in the ball cap, she fabulous.
That's right. She don't do
you have
Yes,
seen my
ma'am.
ball cap.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a tribute. Now I know that's a tribute to her
Yes.
mom.
Yes.
And I was thinking about my mom
Yeah.
too, who was deceased. But my mom was a very strong woman. My mother was an excellent cook, and my mother cooked for a living, and she was one of 12 children. And so they all had their specialties, and I learned my value of cooking from my mom.
Oh, yes.
And she didn't believe in recipes. You know, you couldn't just say,
dash here.
She said a pinch here, a pinch there. You know, it drove me crazy for many years, but I finally got the pinches and the dashes together because that's how I got my husband.
Yeah.
Because I learned how to pinch and
Come
dash.
on, Come on now.
I'll leave it right there. But
I'm going to take a few notes on that for the boo thing.
I got him living. I got
Heels
him in
and
that
pinching the dash.
That stomach. But my mom, one of the things I think my mom, I really valued from my mom, because back then the neighborhood was so valuable in our lives.
Oh, yes.
And my mom taught me that it was no problem to borrow. My mom, they believed in, she was sending, if she was cooking and she was running short, she would send me over to the neighbors and say, go get me a stick of butter. Or go get me a cup of sugar, Libby. And she would send it. But this is the value of it that my mom taught me that I really, still with me. She said, when you give it back, give them more than they gave
Community.
you.
Yes.
I love that. My mom said, if you borrow a stick of butter, you take back a pack, a pound.
Yes.
She said, if you borrow a cup of sugar, you take back a 2-pound bag.
Yes.
If you borrow somebody's car, you fill the tank up.
Yes.
She said, always give back more
Yeah.
than you received. And that's something I've tried to pass on to my children, to give more than you receive.
Yes.
That it really is more blessed to give than it is to receive.
I think mine is resilience. You know, my father passed. You know, me and one of my other sisters, we were still in college.
Yeah.
And just to see her still manage 6 children and some grandkids had come around, and it just told me that if she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
You know, no matter what the situation was, you can handle it. You can get through it.
Yeah.
And she was God-fearing. Of course, she poured that into us, and understand that through it all, if you take God with you, you can get through it. And so I saw that in her. And then the biggest thing that I would say, I saw love.
Yeah.
I saw so much love
That's
to
good.
this very day. My mother will soon be 90 years old. And when you go and visit my mother's house any given Sunday, you got to walk through a bunch of people, you know, because they all want to be around
That's
her.
right. Yeah.
They just want that love that she poured out. So it's a number of things that I try to live by, by way of what I saw in my mom.
Yeah.
But I want to be lovable. I want people I want to love people, and I want to see people to see that love in me.
Yeah.
And I want to be resilient. I
Sure.
want to be able to manage and handle, no matter how difficult
Come on.
can be. I want to be able to manage and handle it. And so I thank her, because she's going to watch this show. And then she's going to tell me, Joyce, you didn't say that word right.
Get your words right.
Education to her heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Get it right, Joyce. Get it right. But I just love and appreciate that touch.
Yes.
You know, that we will forever
Yeah.
have in our hearts, and we will forever hopefully share with our children.
Yeah.
But what about you, Libby? Because we get to follow your mother on Facebook and Instagram. It seems like you should just go ahead and create her own page.
Honey, she need a show.
Especially when she have you running to the grocery store.
Yes.
Right.
Honey, she need a whole show. I need to call Tyler Perry and he need to sign her up, honey. Listen, we need to have a whole, talking about meet the Browns, how to meet the Williams and the Baycar family. My mother, you know, I've been a caregiver for 3 years now. I can't believe it. I'm still there.
Yes.
Listen, I've been moving out for 3 years. I've been there 3 years. But, you know, my mother she is a very funny person. She's a very serious person, very spiritual person, but she's also a very funny person. What I would say that I got from my mother was, when we were very young, my mother said, and I was the person that took it literally, she said, live your life, don't race to the altar, and don't let somebody pump you full of babies. That's exactly what my mother. I took that literally. That my sister, she didn't. She, you know, she went to the altar. She had some children. My mother wanted me to see the world. She didn't get a chance to see the world. She got married at 15. She had her first child at 16. All she knew was my father. So she didn't get to travel and see the world. And so that's one thing that she told us to do that. She also told us to have fun. She said, you know, life was just, fleeting. So we shouldn't be, well, I'll wait to do this then. She was like, do it. I remember in my 20s, it was my mother that said, go to the club. Go to the club. Because I don't want you 35 and 40 trying to go to the club.
Right.
So go to the club now. So by the time I got to 28, I was like, I was already tired. But she did that. She did not have tight reins on us on anything that we did. And my mother has a strong sense of family. She's a big family person. Sunday dinners every Sunday.
Yes.
Her dinner is done at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yes.
Because church, you go into church, and when you get out to church, ain't nobody cooking. She does not cook on Saturday nights. To her, that's blasphemy. I will cook on Saturday night. But and I told y'all the other day that she had me cook a whole duck.
Right.
Yes.
So cooking is something I've learned from my mother. I say now I can probably cook anything. No wonder folk want to marry me. Honey, I can cook everything, honey.
I know. You
Especially them cakes.
Yeah.
Yes, honey. I
Bake
cook
those
cakes. I
cakes.
cook a whole duck, child. I'm just marketable, honey.
She is marketable.
Yes,
Yeah,
but,
you
And
are.
available.
but not on the market. Come on, somebody.
Available.
But not on the market, but marketable. That's all right. Travel is my man.
Right, you know what?
He
On
doesn't
that-
ask questions. Right?
Well, on that note, we're having so much fun right here at the Grown Folks Table podcast. Please make sure you continue to tune in and follow us on all our podcast channels. Thank you again for joining us.
See you next
See you
time.
next time.
Bye.